GlowFlow, a quiet place for your thoughts. One day, you'll wake up and realize you spent years preparing for the life you thought would finally begin someday because you kept believing the right time was still coming. You told yourself, when I save a little more, when life feels less complicated. Everything sounded reasonable, so you waited. Then something else came up, another excuse that made perfect sense. And slowly, waiting became a habit. That's the strange thing about life. It rarely disappears all at once. It slowly gets postponed, one tomorrow at a time. Have you ever looked back at an old photo and suddenly thought, I didn't know those were the good old days? Back then, you were worried about your future. You were thinking about money, about work, about becoming someone. You couldn't see that the life you were desperately trying to improve was already giving you moments you would one day miss. The coffee with your parents, the random trip with your best friend, the ordinary Tuesday evening. We almost never recognize those moments while we're living them, only after they're gone. Let me tell you a story about someone who always said, I'll go someday. There was a trip they dreamed about, a place they wanted to see, a version of life they wanted to experience. But there was always a reason to wait. Work was busy. Money wasn't quite right. There was another goal to reach first. So they told themselves, maybe next year. Then one day, they realized something. The trip was still there. The destination hadn't changed, but they had. The person who dreamed about that journey years ago had become someone completely different. That's the strange thing about life. Sometimes we think we're protecting our future, but while we're building tomorrow, we forget to live today. And maybe that's why this happens to so many of us. We don't stop living because we don't care. We stop because we keep telling ourselves, not yet. Most people think they're stuck because they lack motivation. But I don't think motivation is the real problem. I think we've become addicted to waiting until we're certain. But certainty is something life almost never gives us. So instead, we keep preparing, planning, researching, learning, because those things feel productive. But there's a hidden danger. Planning can quietly become a substitute for living. Not because planning is bad, but because planning feels safe. It lets us imagine success without risking failure. It lets us believe we're moving forward without having to face uncertainty. Sometimes planning isn't preparation. It's protection. Protection from rejection. Protection from embarrassment. Protection from discovering that reality might not look like the picture we imagined. Our brains love certainty, but life has never worked that way. The people who seem most alive aren't the people who planned everything perfectly. They're the people who accepted that life would always be uncertain. They started before they felt ready. They loved before they knew the ending. They traveled before everything was perfect. They created before they believed they were talented enough. Not because they weren't afraid, but because they realized fear doesn't disappear before action. It fades because of action. So here's something I'd like you to try. Before creating another 5-year plan, pause and ask yourself one question. What is something I keep saying I'll do someday? Because someday is a dangerous word. It feels like a promise, but sometimes it's just another way of saying, not now. Maybe it's the trip you've been talking about, the person you've been meaning to call, the hobby you keep telling yourself you'll start. You don't have to change your whole life today. Just do one thing that your future self will be grateful you started. Send the message. Make the plan. Take the first step. Don't wait until life becomes easier, because action gives you something planning never can. It gives you a life you can actually experience. Make space for the life you've been waiting for. This isn't about abandoning your goals. It's about refusing to postpone your life until you've become someone you think deserves to live it. Because here's the truth. Life isn't asking you to become perfect. It isn't asking you to have all the answers. It isn't asking you to wait until everything finally makes sense. It's only asking one question. Are you here? Or are you still waiting for your real life to begin? One day, you probably won't wish you watched one more productivity video. You won't wish you perfected one more routine. You'll wish you took the trip, started the project, laughed without checking the time, said I love you, while you still had the chance. Because life won't ask how many plans you made. It will quietly ask, did you live it? The right time isn't coming, it never was. Life begins the moment you stop waiting for permission to live it.